Becky from Bella Rose Kisses here, channeling my inner 80s girl. Granted, I was born in 79, so I didn't get to dress like this very often, maybe when I was like 10ish, but this is pretty rad, right? I have on a bright pink neon raspberry lip scents, of course some bold eyes, big hair. Can't go wrong with big hair, right? And I have on the neon outfit to match it. Unfortunately, I don't have any bangle bracelets or anything fun like that to like accessorize, or fingerless gloves like the rock stars wore back in the 80s, but I think this will do. So sit back, relax, and watch how I did it. Okay, so I already have on Silk Pore and Wrinkle Minimizer. This is our primer. So I put that on right here where I tend to have my large pores, and I let that dry matte so that when I put my foundation out, which I'm about ready to do, it is as smooth as possible. So I am using Advanced Anti-Aging Make Sense Foundation in Almond. So I use about this much foundation. Looks like they really caked it on in the 80s. I don't have any cake type foundation, and our foundation does not feel cakey or thick. So that part of the plan is not going to be historically accurate. But I am going to get my foundation all over my face. Ears. So if you are watching this, tell me what your favorite thing about the 80s was. Was it the hair? Was it the clothes? What was it? Again, I was very little. The 90s are when I like really started to like pay attention to like what was going on. I'm gonna put a dab more foundation on. This brush is one of my favorite brushes, an IT brush from Ulta. I don't think I can find the number anymore because it's so well loved. I love it, but the bristles are starting to fall out, and that's kind of a sign saying like it's time for it to be done. But I just have not gotten there to get a new one for me yet. I truly love this brush. I love how it applies my foundation, whether I'm stippling or blending. Okay, we're gonna call that good. You don't have to use a base or primer for your eyes with SeneGence, but I often do. Oftentimes I will use my white concealer. Once in a while I'll use my Candlelight SeneGence because I like to have my eyes bright, but that's not for the 80s. Okay, while that is doing its thing, we are going to do my brows, and their brows were a little more noticeable in the 80s. So I'm gonna use Rustic Brown, which I go back and forth between Rustic Brown, Mocha Java, and then I often use our Taupe Brow Scents. But all the pictures I saw, there were some very noticeable brows. So for me, Rustic Brown makes them noticeable. So we're gonna go with Rustic Brown. They're kind of like big and noticeable, but it looks like a lot of people had their, it looks like they had their own like bushy type brows, which good for them, they didn't pluck. Because then the 90s rolled around and we had a very, very thin example of brows. It was so bad. When I met my husband in 2004, I had plucked my brows so much that there was like straight up a hole. There's a picture at Christmas. I had like tried to like line in some a pencil, which I didn't even know how the heck to use. And it, like throughout the day, I remember it was at Christmas time because we met on December 23rd is our first date. And Christmas Day, there was a picture of me with like half my brow missing. It was so bad. What were we thinking, ladies? What were we thinking? Okay, so those, I always do that. Those are big, just not as big as maybe they would have been. We're gonna do Pinkberry, neon, 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 everything. I have on a pink shirt, it's actually a romper. This is gonna be part of my eye look, but it's also going to be some very noticeable blush on my cheeks. And then we're gonna add on some pearlizer to give me a little glow. Now keep in mind with our blush scents, a little bit goes a very long way. So this is actually too much, which I think is okay. Because there was pictures I saw where like, they like took it up into their, like up here. Blush scents is cream to powder. So it goes on creamy, oops, that's a little uneven, and then turns to powder. But you never feel it. That's the thing with our makeup, is like you don't feel it. You don't feel like you have stuff on. That's what I love the most. It's so light. And it doesn't clog your pores. Which is super important for a girl who has oily skin. Normal oily skin. So is that pink enough? Pearlizer. Give myself a little glow right here. Nothing wrong with a little glow, a little glitter. And then we're gonna start working on my eyes. Well, my eyes are gonna dry before I put the eyeliner, thick black eyeliner on, and mascara. We'll do my lips, which of course I picked raspberry because it's neon pink. We're gonna do turquoise up top and then put on some Pinkberry on the inner corners and then some violet around, and we're gonna like completely go around my eye. So remember, neon. This one I'm just gonna tap on here to get it going. Turquoise is one that kind of a little bit goes a long way. This I'm just blending. And if I want to make it darker later, I can come back in. But for now, I just wanna get kind of the base here because I do have to put the violet and Pinkberry on, and I don't wanna make a muddy mess. If you haven't told me already, tell me your favorite thing from the 80s. Poofy hair, crimper, neon, the music, Madonna, Debbie, Cyndi Lauper. Just tell me. Okay, so this is just the start of this neon-y bright eye look. Make sure that they're even. And make sure they kind of match, because a lot of people have this. I certainly do. This eye is always closed a little bit more than the other, and so sometimes I bring up my color a little bit more to make it appear like they're kind of even. Back to the Pinkberry blush, which can actually be used as eyeshadow as well. We used to have pink hibiscus shimmer, which is similar to this, but it was limited edition and it's sold out, so I hate to use things that you can't have. Okay, so what we're gonna do is put a little bit on this brush. I'm putting it directly on the brush, a little bit. And this one I'm gonna kind of pat into place. Because again, I don't wanna blend too much because I have that turquoise there. And I am gonna bring it down here. So you can already see it's kind of slightly changing color there. If I blend too much, it's not gonna look great. As it was, I probably should have not brought my turquoise down that far into my inner crease here. If I have to, I can clean up in there. I don't wanna have to do that. And there's gonna be violet on the outside. Oops, see a little too much there. Oopsie-doo. That's okay. It's gonna be covered up with mascara and eyeliner. But it's almost actually creating a violet right there. Interesting. Okay, now I'm gonna leave this open just for a minute so that it can kind of dry. If I have to, I'll come back in with my candlelight brush and clean up underneath there a little bit. I guess I'll be cleaning my brushes again tonight. Again, here I'm kind of patting into place versus blending it. Oops. I did not know that those two colors would make a purpley color there, which is almost the color I'm going to be putting on the outside of my eye. Now, we're going to go put, this is going to be Violet Shadow Sense on the outside. I'm feeling very 80s like already. Okay, same thing, I'm going to take this brush and directly pat it onto my brush. Patting into place here. I feel like I can put some more pink on there, but we'll come back and deal with that in a minute. So I want the pink to be noticeable. Pinkberry, I should say. I'll definitely have to clean up underneath my eyes. We're gonna go back with the pink, a little more pink, go back in underneath here. I may put a little bit of stuff up there to like even it out. I'm not sure that I'll do any more turquoise. Oops, that's too much. It's hard for me to really see. There. That feels a little better. Just a touch more. It's honestly more is less here, right? Or less is more, I'm not really sure. Don't think you can really go wrong with the 80s. I saw a variety of things. And some of the makeup like went back up, kind of like a half mask. Anyways. Okay, this is the brush that had my candlelight on it. If I have to, I can put more candlelight on it, but I want this to be closer to my eye versus like too far down with that color. This is our translucent powder. But I'm sneaky. I changed my container because I like my own brush. Powder is fabulous. I love my own brush. Okay, so while my eyes are drying, I will do powder and lip sense. Raspberry, what else? With lip sense, you want to clean with witch hazel first, pat dry with a cloth, and then do 3 thin layers all in one direction. It's a molecular bond. And if you have gunk on your lips, and I'm about ready to tell you, that gunk stands between the lip sense and your lips and a perfect molecular bond. Goes on in 3 layers. Oh, that just scared me, you guys. There was someone out my window. I think it was the consumer's guy. That scared me. Yeah. That was weird. Okay, that's why you clean off your lips. That was really bizarre. I don't spend a lot of time in this room, so to have a consumer's guy check my meter, which is right there. Kind of spooky. Raspberry lip sense will be perfect. It's a nice neon pink. Go with my nice neon look. Although I almost wonder too if that was the propane guy. I hope it's not the propane guy. He's way more expensive. Okay, 3 thin layers, all one direction. I'm gonna be quiet. Black iSense Long Lasting Eyeliner Pencil. They did heavy eyeliner, so it's gonna be all around my eyes, heavy. I make funny faces when I put on eyeliner. My goodness. Think that's thick enough? Undersense 3-in-1 maximizing lash primer for some big lashes. It goes on beige, so when you put on your black waterproof mascara, you know where it's at. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. So there we have it. Big hair, neon. I'm ready for the 80s. What do you guys think? I really like how this came together. This side is a little heavier, so it didn't feather out as well. And this is actually my natural curl in my hair. I just scrunched it up. I did our hair covery line, which I use every other day, and then I used our hair covery holding spray. So I scrunched it a little bit, sprayed a little bit, dried a little more, and so this is my natural curl. I wanted to do crimping, but I didn't have a crimper, couldn't find one easily. I didn't want to buy one, I decided. And then I just like, you know, ratted. Sorry, teased. So there we have it. Lip Sense wasn't even created till 1999, so this was not a thing in the 80s. Lip Sense is no budge, no smudge. I bet you they would have loved to have had it in the 80s to go with this awesome, bold look. So thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to see more, of course, subscribe right here on YouTube. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. So thank you for watching. Have a fabulous, rad day.